Okay, so today I want to talk about inflammation and why inflammation is so important. So, yes, we have inflammation as a very natural process that occurs in the body after an injury. But the issue with inflammation is when it becomes chronic. So, inflammation on its own sets off a cascade of events that happen in the body. And that cascade of events has some, stop signs and red lights and green lights. And when those cascades, green lights and red lights, end up moving into a chronic level, which means it just keeps on ongoing. There is no final resolution to inflammation. It just keeps going. Chronic inflammation ends up being at the root of many health issues. So we're looking at autoimmune, fatigue, gut issues, brain fog, mood swings, even chronic joint pain. So inflammation, we also take a look at what the common sources of chronic inflammation are. So we can look at poor diet, food sensitivities. We do testing for that. We do patient questionnaires to figure out what's going on with the diet. We take a look at gut imbalances. We take a look at the microbiome, what pathogenic or opportunistic bacteria is causing inflammation. We take a look at chronic stress and trauma. And some of it can be really insidious. Some of it may be like, no, I don't have any stress. And, if you have something like, for example, gum or teeth issues, you may actually be walking around with chronic inflammation, not realizing it. And that leads me, of course, to talk about infections and toxins and mold. Mold is a big one, of course. And one of the biggest sources of chronic inflammation is also poor sleep, which is why I advocate for looking at sleep. That's one of the biggest pillars for health and wellness. So basically, when it comes to chronic inflammation, you want to make sure that you don't ignore the smoke. You want to find the fire. And of course, you can talk to your trusty functional medicine doctor, me, or a naturopathic doctor, but people who are in the know of how to find what's going on for you and take that fire out and get you to wellness.